those of you who are just tuning in, my name is Allie. I am the Director of Member Communications here on the Darren Hardy A-Team. It is my absolute joy and pleasure to welcome you to this very special advisory session with Darren as we kick off 2022. Well, this last year with our founding members was so incredibly special as we journeyed through the hero's journey together as a community, as one group going through it together. And the stories of growth, the stories of triumph are so moving. These are ones that will have forever left their mark on me, and I'm sure for many of those who have journeyed with us through this together. Now, we have the incredible opportunity to do this again together this year in 2022, and that heroic adventure starts right now as the class of 2022 officially begins in this moment. So congratulations for stepping up and for answering your call to adventure. You are in the right place. We are so very grateful to have you with us. For those of you that are still on the fence and have not yet officially joined us, you are also in the right place because Darren is going to share some profound insights with us today that you're going to be so thrilled and so glad that you are here for. Now, before we bring Darren on, I know that you're excited. You can't wait for him to come. We have a starting ritual that to get ourselves set and focused before all of our meetings around here. So it's going to help anchor us in as we begin today. Now, I believe that Mariana has or will be closing down the chat to get us started and get us ready for a super focused and productive session. Okay, so our number one, that's going to be focus. So put your blinders on, eliminate all possible distractions. Anything that can ding, can chirp, can ring, can distract you and your attention, it should be closed down, including those tabs that you're trying to leave open. I do the same thing. Be sure that you have a pen and a notebook handy so that you can take down all of the gold that Darren's going to be sharing with us today. So I assure you, you're going to be so glad that you have it. Second is clear your mind. Now that we call this clearing the calculator, you can't do a new mental calculation if you still have numbers in your calculator from what you were doing before. So clear your mind. We have Shannon on the A-Team that actually holds up a big calculator to remind us of that. Last but not least, we're going to get a reset. We're going to get fully ready for high performance learning. So we do that by taking one big deep breath together to really lock us in. So we're all going to do that together. So on count three, I'll count you in. We're going to breathe in, and then we're going to breathe out. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. And breathe out. Very good. It feels good, right? Well, without further ado, I know that he has been working really hard to prepare for this session for you. So I am so excited to learn along with you. Now, do you have your pen and paper? Do you have your journal out? If not, go and grab it now. We're going to turbocharge your pen. Now, it is now my absolute joy and honor to welcome your mentor and mine, Mr. Darren Hardy.
Thank you, Allie, and hello and welcome, everyone. I am thrilled to be with you as we kick off 2022 here and our epic growth adventure through your hero's journey. So the goal here today is simple: to be sure that you are ready and set to become a person of significance and to crush your goals in 2022, making this year unquestionably, as testified by your spouse, by your kids, by your team, and measured by your CPA and calculated by your banker, your absolute best year ever. So, are you ready for that? If not, you're in the wrong place. If you are, then you are exactly where you need to be right now. This, my friends, is the year to grow and the year to be bold. And we're going to be doing it together, arm in arm, all year long. I will be giving you the tools. I will be teaching you the strategies and coaching you through the skills and capabilities that you need to lead and achieve in this modern, new, and crazy, but exciting world that we live in here today. So I will also be surrounding you with a community of committed, like-minded, and like-ambitious, badass high achievers, committed global leaders who are the top influencers in their communities, in their marketplaces, and in their respected industries, many of which are tuned in live with this from all over the world right now. And all of them will become your new allies in helping you be victorious on your personal life's hero's journey. Through this learning adventure, you will be sharing ideas with them, encouraging each other, and helping each other. You have found the League of Extraordinary Achievers that you always wanted to be a part of. And now you are a member. So welcome. Now, before we begin, there are two truths that I need to address with you. And these two truths might seem real to you, but they are actually false. And your continuing to believe them is what can severely injure your growth potential and what can keep you from achieving the goals that you have in this new year and beyond. So we need to clean this up right away. Okay. So I need you to be ready to pay close attention. Okay, you ready? All right. The false truth, number one, is external, and then the other is internal. So I'm going to start with the external one. The world out there is crazy right now. We are surrounded by constant and continual uncertainty. It feels as if the world is sort of spinning out of control, right? There is constant political infighting, disinformation, and social outrage. The new COVID variant is surging and shutting down things again. You're being told that if you got vaccinated, that you are a sheeple. If you didn't get vaccinated, then you are just a horrible human being. Then we have the great resignation. 80% of people still looking to leave their jobs. Supply chain issues, rising inflation, big data, AI, and robots taking over the world. Here's the deal. I know that it all seems like the truth, but it is not. That is the real fake news. The real truth is this. 99% of the world is awesome. We've never been wealthier, healthier, safer, more literate, and more inclusive. We've never had more freedom, more leisure time, and longer life expectancy ever than we do right here today. People, I'm talking about right here, right now, on every major metric we have as a global species. This right now is the best and most opportune time to have ever been alive and to now thrive. So I say to you, and hear me please, do not miss this chance to thrive. Now is the time to make your move. Now is the time to go for it, to grow aggressively and to act boldly. Now, are there negative things happening in the world? Yeah, man, of course there are. But just put that into the proper perspective, the proper reality of what really is. And here's what it is. It is 99% awesome, as in best time ever. And 1% is negative. The problem here is 99% of all news media and social media is negative. Why, you ask? Because that is what gets our attention. And that is what everybody is vying for, our attention. Every media source and every communication platform and every freaking person around you in email, on social channels, within notifications, and in your RSS feeds, everyone is vying for our attention. All the clickbait, salacious headlines, social commentary are focused on the danger, the threat, the controversy, the outrage, the division, gossip, and scandal in order to trigger our emotion and gain them our attention. So understand that no matter who you are, when 99% is good, but your constant exposure is to the 99% negative, it most certainly feels like and seems like the world is 99% negative, but it is not. The world is not going to hell in a handbasket. That is all fake news. Or let's just say it's only 1% of the news, 1% of the actual reality. And even that 1%, it's sensationalized, it's scandalized, and it's dramatized. The world and our human race is humming along just great. Just know, every freaking generation before us felt the same way about the world around them during the time that they lived in. Every human population thought it was all going to come crashing down around them during their lifetime. And yet here we are, thriving more than ever. So I say, just don't miss this moment in human history because, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We are living in it. Carpe diem, people. Carpe diem your butt off in 2022. If you really capture this single perspective, this understanding, this mindset, it will give you an incredible advantage over whatever it is that you do and will allow you to call up the use of your full potential and become the person of consequence that you were intended to be. You're here now for a reason. So here's a great question to ask yourself. Are you a victim to the media or a creator of the culture? You see, you want to create the culture that surrounds you, that surrounds your family, your team, your business, your community. So that's number one. Here's the second false truth. Something that you think is true, but it is not. The idea that you are not good enough. There is a false narrative that plays inside your head that you aren't smart enough, not capable enough, not strong enough, not courageous enough, or whatever. The lies that narrative might try to tell you is, this is not the right time. You can't afford it. You're not ready. This isn't for somebody like you. You don't have the time. You have other priorities right now anyway, or whatever. Just know that those are the voices of your inner critic, the demons that we all have inside. It is our imposter syndrome, and we all have it. We've all battled with it. Just know that it is normal, but it is a lie. The truth is, you are unique and special and powerful beyond belief. All of us are born unique. This uniqueness is marked genetically into our DNA. We are a one-of-a-kind, one-of-a-time phenomenon in the universe. Our exact genetic makeup has never occurred before, nor will it ever be repeated again. You are here for a reason, for a purpose. We were called here together to fulfill a special mission, to contribute something unique and needed, something that wouldn't have existed without you. This life, this purpose, this mission is your hero's journey. But you have to answer the call. You have to leave the ordinary world, the world of the herd of mediocrity, and doing what everybody else does, and reading what everybody else reads, and watching what everybody else watches, and listening to what everybody else listens to, and learning what everybody else learns. As Joseph Campbell instructed, you must be willing to let go of the life that you planned through the instruction of the culture and society around you, so as to have the life that is waiting for you. So you have to leave the world of the common day and venture out into the supernatural world. And that supernatural world is the world within. And inside there, fabulous forces will be encountered. Battles will be waged. But working together, decisive victories will be won. You see, everybody thinks that their hero's journey is a battle to be won out there in the marketplace, out in the community, and fighting the enemies that are around you, like some video game. But the enemy is not out there. It's within. And the only enemy that's holding you back is you, the enemy within you. The enemy within is what has been holding you back, suppressing your true potential, perpetually sabotaging any progress that you might gain, and crippling your ability to achieve your big goals. You see, the great heroic battle of your life is the battle that you will wage within. Your hero's journey is a journey within. You probably know people like I do. I mean, people who are incredibly intelligent, amazingly talented, and hardworking, but yet they still seem to fail. They still seem stuck. You know people like that, right? Why? Why is that? People with all the capability in the world, why did they still fail and not live up to their full potential? The reason is they never defeated the enemy within. Now, how about you? Do you ever wonder why? No matter how hard you work, how much you learn, how many books and blogs you read, how many podcasts you listen to, how many seminars you attend, maybe even Darren dailies that you watch, and how diligently you follow the success methods proven to work for other people, that you still seem to struggle? Here's what I'm telling you. It's not you. It's the enemy within. So hear me now. You cannot realize your true potential and live the life that you were meant to live until you defeat this enemy within. And this enemy is not just within you, it is in me too. It is also in your kids. It's in your employees or teammates as well. This enemy lies within your friends and all those people that you admire on the covers of magazines. This enemy lies within all of us to varying degrees of strength. It's part of the human condition, and we're all susceptible to this enemy. But your mission here, should you accept, is to drive this enemy into the smallest corner possible, to weaken it, to debilitate it, to make it submit to your will. And this is your hero's journey. And that is part of what you will do through your journey with us over the next year, along with developing the skills and the attributes and the character that you need to rise up and become the heroic leader to your team, your family, and to your community, the one they need of you, and a leader and influence of consequence. But to do this, we need to make two decisions right now. Right now, number one, that the outside world will no longer control us. Instead of being manipulated by the agenda of the disaster porn purveyors, we will choose to focus on the beauty, the majesty, the abundant opportunity that surrounds us living in the greatest time in all of human history. Number 2, we will no longer bend to the will of the enemy within. We will stand up and fight. We will do battle with the enemy within. It will no longer suppress and sabotage us anymore. And look, I don't care if you've set goals before that you didn't achieve. I don't care if you've tried before and failed. And I don't care if you've procrastinated and you've drifted and you've fallen off the wagon before. Just shut the front door on the past. It only takes you declaring now that this right here is it. You just simply draw a hard line in the sand and cross it. Muster the courage to step forward and just take action. Stop stalling. No more. Answer your call to adventure. It doesn't matter who you were last year or yesterday. Shut the front door on last year. Shut the front door on the old you and just leave that person in the past. Look, you don't need to go back there and fix anything. You don't need to do any child regression. Just start where you are now. The valuable but ambitious human being that you are. You only need to choose to step forward right now. And once you cross this line, never go back. Consider that the boats are burned and the only way now is forward. The greatest thing about all this is that you don't have to do it alone. Not anymore. I will be with you if you're enrolled in the hero's journey. My A team will be with you, and thousands of heroic global leaders will be with you, and will be with you all year long. And then we will have an alumni community that will last a lifetime. You will make connections here and develop relationships that will be life-altering. The former United States Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy, said that the one thing that is causing us more illness today, more than anything, is not viral. It is a lack of connectedness. He called loneliness a public epidemic, and it is what is causing our greatest problems as a society. If you've ever had a hard time meeting the right kind of people, having the right associations, they're here. People who can become the half dozen most important people in your life. The people who support you in making the successful life that you will now go on to lead. We've already had heroes from our last group who have traveled across the globe to attend each other's weddings. Heroes that came together and formed business partnerships. Heroes that came together and shared Thanksgiving together and vacationed together. Heck, come to think about it, all of my dirty dozen friends is what we call our group of 12. All of them are people that I've met through these groups that I have formed. None of them actually were people that I grew up with or that I knew before. It's weird. I just sort of thought about that. So what I'm telling you is, if you answer your call and engage fully in this process, life will never be the same starting today. As my mentor, Jim Rohn, would tell me, he would say, on any one day, with any one decision, you can change the trajectory of your life. You can alter the destination of your destiny. So for those of you watching and are not members of our hero's journey yet, I'm going to give you the last chance to join us, to be part of something special that might not ever be replicated again. The most amazing collection of human beings and global influencers have already gathered. And I can tell you, this is the most illustrious group of humans I've ever seen assembled for one common growth experience for sure. But we are almost at maximum capacity. And we limit the group because we provide lots, particularly this year, lots of opportunity for the heroes to come together to meet, to connect with each other, to network with each other. So we've got to limit the group. And the final deadline for all enrollment ends this Friday, if not before then, due to reaching capacity issues. And our first module drops this coming Sunday. And that is when the train permanently leaves the station and our epic adventure begins. So, and for those of you that are not yet enrolled, if you decided to attend this kickoff session, I am appreciative. And as a result, I'm going to give you $2,000 to help you. And this is something not available if you just go to our enrollment page at heroesjourney.com. I should probably for those of you that are new here, I should probably briefly explain what the heck this hero's journey is all about. And for those new heroes that have just joined us who are on for their kickoff session here today, this will also be a fantastic preview for all of you to see what the journey ahead looks like. So let me take a sip here. Hero's Journey is a leadership growth and development system. Now, I just gave you 4 key words that describe this entire process. So let me break them out for you so that you understand what all of this is about. And you probably want to make note of these, okay? So make sure that your pen and journal are ready. The first word is leadership. Now, understand this. Leadership is not a title. Leadership is not authority or position. Leadership is not a rank or status. Leadership is influence. The ability to affect the mindset, the behavior, and the future of another. So then understand that we are all influential to each other. As human beings, part of any tribe, we all positively or negatively, significantly or marginally influence each other. That means that we are all leaders as a social tribe species. Just not all good ones and just not all powerful ones. So influence is not only what you say and how you say it, but it has more to do with who you are, how you show up, how you behave, and the character that you demonstrate consistently, how you act, how you react, and how you respond. You know how some people that when they walk into a room, they just seem to command respect without ever saying a word? You see, you can have that. You know how some people who, when they speak, people listen? In a group discussion, the group seems to always turn to them for confirmation. You see, you can be that person. When this person provides coaching or makes a recommendation, people actually do it and they actually follow through on it. You can be that person. You see, these attributes that you see in certain parents, but not others, in certain friends, but not others, in certain teachers, but not others, in certain salespeople, but not others, in certain business leaders, and not others. This influence, this power has nothing to do with title, background, or status. It has nothing to do with education, intelligence, charm, or wittiness. And it has nothing to do with whether they are outgoing or reserved. It's about character. It's about presence. It's unspoken, but palpable. It's intangible, but visible. It's radiant and magnetic. And it is calm, but compelling. Now, imagine the power that would give you in working with your team, in presentations to your clients, in raising money or in generating sales, in negotiating with vendors and partners, even in your peer group or at home with your family. And all those qualities can be developed. And that is what you will experience through your hero's journey. The second word after leadership is growth. Leadership and influence is about knowing how to get others to want to do what you need them to do in order to accomplish a common goal. It is learning how to connect to their innermost drive and motives and aligning those motives to the goals of the organization or the team or the family. And then mobilize those motives into action, into results, and into mission achievement. It's knowing how to motivate and inspire others to do their best work, to want to show up, work hard, strive for excellence, and be accountable to outcomes. You need those skills. Whether you want to influence and lead a company, a department or work team, vendors, contractors, and suppliers, a church group or peer group, and or the most important people in your life, the ones who are counting on you to become the most, the ones looking to you the most, the ones emulating you the most, those little souls at home that you're trying to shape into self-sufficient and successful human beings, your kids. You will learn, grow, and develop the essential skills that you need to get what you want in life. And maybe even more important, your ability to help others get what they want in life. That is the kind of person you want to be, right? If you want to do something significant, if you want to be a person of consequence, if you want to fulfill your purpose, your mission, and your destiny, it requires you learning to positively influence and lead others into action. The third word is development. Hero's Journey is not only an educational program. It is not about giving you the information that you need. Trust me, you don't need any more information. You're already swimming in too much information, and it's readily at your fingertips anytime that you want it anyway. Yet, even though that it is all the information in the world is available to you, you still are not where you want to be. Why? Because more education or information is not going to do it. Hero's Journey is also not simply a training program. It's not like a seminar or a class. It's not a one and done encounter. What you acquire in Hero's Journey, you can't acquire anywhere else in the world. Hero's Journey is a full-scale development system, and not just leadership development or influence development, but a complete human growth development system. And that is the final and fourth word, system. Look, I don't know why you're here today, what changes or improvements you desire to make, where you have let yourself down before, and why. All I know is it is not because you can't. It's not because you are incapable. It's not because you are lazy, unmotivated, or undisciplined. You wouldn't be here right now with us if you were. After 25 plus years in the human performance business, I know it is because you simply lack a system. You see, a system that removes the typical human pitfalls, a system that helps you defeat your inner saboteurs and emboldens your unique gifted strengths, a system that was optimized to produce real world results. It's a time sequence and delivered over an extended period of time process to let the metamorphosis process maturate. And you get professional and experienced mentoring every step of the way. Somebody who's actually taken the trip, captured the prize, and is now coming back using their life to now help you on your journey. Not somebody who's only read about the promised land and is now just regurgitating passages that they've read, written by others, which is what you typically experience out there, quite frankly. Having curated this industry for 25 plus years, unfortunately, that's what mostly is out there. And what makes this eminently special, unique, and forever life-changing is you will be surrounded with and supported by like-minded and like-committed heroes who are on the same adventure with you, who will be encouraging you and holding you accountable all along the journey. Just imagine what can happen if you get the right people engaged in the right experience for the right reasons, committed to growth and transformation. Yes, that would be incredible. And that is exactly why this is. We've designed a system and an environment here where you can become as powerful, influential, and successful as you want to be, as you choose to be, as you commit to being. The bottom line is this. This is a complete system that works if you do. I've leveraged my 30 plus years of experience in business, my 25 plus years experience getting access to the greatest leaders of our time. And I spent the last 10 years developing this system so that now it only requires you putting one foot in front of the other and following the stepping stones that will already be laid out for you. You see, all the hard work has already been done to design and map out your journey, and all you have to do is follow along. So let me give you the specifics here. The Hero's Journey 5-stage cycle system works like this. You're given 21 modules of instructional guidance and training, completed with a follow-along journey log, which acts as your navigation system through the program. Then there are prepared action guides that are designed for after each module to help you apply and integrate your learnings into your unique life and circumstances. And then, here's what's special, there is a quest to complete with each module. This is where you exercise and practice applying and testing and trying and reviewing and improving on your new skills to develop your strengths. Then you can meet with an after-action huddle accountability group if you choose. Additionally, each module is followed by 21 private mentoring sessions with me. And the questions and experiences other heroes had along their adventure that have been recorded and will also be distributed to you as a super special bonus. This session that we're having here today was designed to help kick off our 2022 Hero's Journey class. So I want to bring on some of our founding member heroes here in a few seconds and have them share how their share their experience tips, having taken the trip as well, and what some of their takeaways were to advise the new heroes that are with us here on how to optimize their learning and their adventure. But before I do so, I want to give those who are watching us now who are not yet a member, I want to give you this last chance to grab one of the remaining spots. If you are ready to answer your call to adventure and join us in this once-in-a-lifetime experience. Yes, even though this is an epic learning and growth experience that will have life-altering implications for you, the enrollment cost is probably not what you think. Okay. While CEOs have paid me for years $100,000 a year for only a 30-minute phone call monthly to address many of the same leadership strategies and issues that are taught inside the Hero's Journey program, this will not cost you anything close to that. This entire development and community accountability system was designed, packaged, and put together to be delivered for only $15,000, a heck of a lot less than the $56,000 you'd pay for a single year of Ivy League education. And I'll tell you, you'll gain a heck of a lot more inside this program that journeys over a year. The first journey was released in Q4 of 2020. Y'all remember Q4 of 2020? Right when it was needed the most, but also when leaders also needed some extra financial support. So we released it for only $5,995 instead of the $15,000 it was designed to be. And we even financed it for them for only $999 for 6 installments. And if you go to heroesjourney.com, that's the enrollment price that you will see right now. We decided to honor that price for our 2022 class as well. But by joining us here for this kickoff session, you're showing me that you are sincere and that you are committed. And if you are, I want to help. You'll come to learn that I care about those who care. Now, if you don't care about stepping up, if you don't care about being a leader or a positive influencer, then I don't care. Okay. But if you do care, then I want to help all that I can. Okay. So I will give you the $2,000 I mentioned towards your enrollment. It comes out of our Heroes Fund. We have been funding this Heroes Fund as a percentage of our revenue for the last several years now. So if you use the link that we will give you, and I think Marianne is going to post it somewhere, or I think there's a banner actually on the page below. It will include that $2,000 Heroes Fund scholarship, and that will bring your enrollment down to only $665 now and 5 equal monthly installments. Okay, so $665 to take a hero's journey that could be a life-changing experience and access this phenomenal community and have lifetime access to this alumni group that you will meet along the way. So Marianne, if you haven't already, just post that link. And you can go there anytime during this broadcast and access that scholarship. But just know that as soon as we close this broadcast down, access to that link and that scholarship is lost, okay? You have to ask yourself this. What would you pay to become the parent that you really want to be? The spouse, the friend, the business leader, the influencer, the family member, the community builder that you know you are capable of, but just don't know what to do or how to follow through. If this helps you turn the lights on, helps you access the full potential of what you have inside, that you were designed to bring so that you can live the life that you were meant to live, well then, this is the freaking bargain of a lifetime. So for those of you not with us already, this is your formal invitation to join us. This is your call to adventure. So do you step forward? Will you cross the line? We are in a special time in history. 10, 20, 30 years from now, you're going to be held accountable for this moment. You will be asking yourself, when this was the greatest time to be alive, did you step forward? Your children will be asking you, did you step up? During these times of transition, of change and opportunity, did you change? Did you commit? Did you progress? Did you make the most of this most extraordinary time? This is your chance to answer those questions. This is your moment, your time. So decide right now to make this your best year ever. And you will instantly enroll me and over 8,000 now global leaders who will fight to help you make that happen. And here's what's also great about this one decision, okay? It eliminates 1,000 decisions you no longer have to make. You see, Hero's Journey is the only personal growth and development system that you need to invest in all year. I can tell you that. Why? Because it's all in here and everything you'll ever need packed into one system. So you could just check off finding your personal development from your to-do list for the year. You won't need to go from book to book and course to course and shiny object and shiny opportunity to shiny opportunity. I've done all the work for you, and I will just lay it all out neatly for you, step by step, week over week, all year long. 30 years basically distilled into one. That is the ultimate in growth and time leverage. The other unique aspect of this year's journey is the one that I will be doing with you actively, module for module, all year long. It's unlikely I will be able to be a full community participant like this in any journey in the future. So this is the adventure that you want to be a part of. I promise you it will be special. Plus, we are going to be doing all sorts of virtual mixers and meetups and so that everybody can meet and collaborate and expand their associations together. And that will be unique to this journey as well. It's something we didn't even do last year at all, and maybe not ever again. And Allie will tell you more about that here at the end. So I want to introduce all of you to a couple of our founding heroes. And these are leaders who have finished their hero's journey cycle in 2021. And they're going to share some tips on how to optimize your experience. And so first, I'd like to introduce you to Jeff Lavery, who is in Utah, and he's the CEO of Onnit Systems that makes these amazing and super snazzy custom sounding absorbing wall and ceiling panels. So Jeff, please share your discoveries from your journey that you just completed.
Okay, thanks for this opportunity. I have to tell you, Darren, this program is honestly the most amazing experience I've ever gone through in my entire life. Originally, I signed up for the Hero's Journey because I thought it might help me lead my employees better and for my business. But it changed every meaningful relationship in my life, literally. Here's one example. The relationship with my wife, and I, with our daughter-in-law, had been a little bit strained this last couple years. And because of this, it was causing stress between a few members of our family. The problem was with her is it was interesting that she would always step into conversations that I would be having with my son, even if she was in another room. She would cut him off mid-sentence and answer the questions that I was asking him. It was a really bizarre thing. And the way our communication was going was hard for me to handle, and the tension was definitely felt on both sides with us. So my wife and I were desperate to improve the situation because it's critical in regard to the future of our family. So I decided to try using my new skills I learned in the Hero's Journey this past year by interacting with my daughter-in-law and my son. There was one lesson, this is a huge lesson, that we learned about every human being wanting to be seen, heard, and understood that I thought I would try with her. So I started asking my daughter-in-law questions and getting her opinion and really listening to what she was saying. I started to give her praise and compliments, but never directly to her, but to those that were important to her, like her parents or siblings, and even to my son in her regard, like to him, but not like at her. And I just made sure that she was within earshot away so she could hear me say these things. It literally only took a couple of weeks, and our relationship did a complete turnaround. We were more comfortable with each other, and she stopped answering questions and finishing his sentences for him. And our family relationship with her has literally skyrocketed ever since then. That's just one example. And there are many, many examples of this that I could share, but of course I'll just share the one. So I just have to say I'm super excited for the new Hero's Journey members that are considering coming into this, because it has literally changed my life and my family's life. I'm super grateful for it.
That's great. Thank you, Jeff. And boy, just think of the marriage counseling money that you saved, the child psychology therapy that you saved. So I love it. I mean, again, just not a big impact with Jeff's team at the office, which is what he expected, but every meaningful relationship in his life, including his wife and son. So that's just brilliant. Okay, another dynamic leader is Jeannie Henderson in Kalamazoo, Michigan. She is the CEO of Jeannie's Cleaning and has become a coach and influencer to her entire industry. So Jeannie, please just share your learning experience with the community here quickly.
Well, hi, Darren, and thank you so much for this opportunity. The Hero's Journey has been an amazing experience, and I'm so glad to be here. When asked about this, there were so many ways that the journey has impacted my life and my business. But there's one really important thing that came to mind as I was thinking about this. Last year, I was able to share on one of the Q&As about how I had the honor of receiving a green jacket award. I'm wearing my green jacket right now with my team. And it was a result of one of the modules in the hero's journey. And it had taken me a long time to reach that goal that we had been reaching for years of $1 million annually in revenue. But that one module turned everything around for us, and our team crushed all of our goals as soon as we got through that module. So I really thought that the journey was going to be about helping me in my business in ways like that, right? But as I went through the year, what I didn't realize was how much what I was learning in the journey was flowing through me and into the lives of other people. And I'm personally seeing that impact that you talk about so much, that you talked about in the lead-in to today's presentation. It's just amazing the impact that this is having in people around me that I wasn't expecting. It really opened my eyes to how helping people with their leadership skills is the one sure way to help them achieve success and the fulfillment that they are looking for, whether it's in their business or in their personal life, like Jeff just shared. When I started the hero's journey, I thought it was all about my results. But what I've really found is that this is just the tip of the iceberg of the lifelong impact that this journey is going to make, not only in my life, but in the lives of other people. Over the past year, I've personally coached dozens of business owners and presented to hundreds more. And every day I get to work with leaders to help them overcome their fears, implement new strategies, charge obstacles, and celebrate their wins. And these are the things that you teach us in the hero's journey. And often on a daily basis, I can hear your teaching and your words flowing through me into the lives of other people that I have the honor to coach with. And I've just been able to help so many more people experience breakthrough success at levels that I could never have achieved before the hero's journey. In addition to that, I've seen so many people double and triple their businesses over the past year. And I just have to credit that impact that I'm able to make to what I've been learning over this past year. So I just want to thank you, Darren, and the hero's journey, because I have more confidence, better strategies, and a very clear path to help other people grow, not just myself. So when I'm in doubt of if I can make a life-changing impact, I just think, why not me? And I can't wait to start our next hero's journey and meet all the new heroes.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jeannie. That's amazing. And I love how Jeannie's growth and improvement is, as a single individual, is now influencing the growth and improvement of hundreds and hundreds more that she's helping influence. You see, that right there is the ripple effect that we are after from all of you. I remember when we had Tim Cook on the cover of our magazine, he said, you want to be the pebble in the pond that creates the ripples for change. And so lastly here, I want to introduce Wendy McKenna and Jane Armstrong. They are from Saginaw, Michigan, and they have some beautiful thoughts to share. Please go ahead.
Hi, Darren. That's Saginaw, but you were close.
Saginaw, yeah, sorry.
And I'm Wendy.
And I'm Jane.
And first of all, we just want to say thanks to you and the A team for all you do. We think you're just amazing. And we're honored to be able to share our story with you guys today. Jane actually started sending me Darren dailies. And before long, I was subscribing it to myself because they were just amazing to do. And then in January of 2020, Jane approached me about doing Hero's Journey. She thought that would be something I should consider. I've been in the title insurance business for over 20 years. I started out as a low delivery person and worked my way up to leadership, but I was never properly given leadership training. So I did sign on to the Hero's Journey. From the first module on, I was hooked. There was aha moments at every turn. It affected the way I lead, and it affected the way I live my life. Module 12 is one that I wanted to really get to because I was really anxious about navigating the tough conversations. I never knew or was taught how to do that. I found myself always doing things myself or talking in circles, trying to get the team member to understand what I wanted them to do or not to do. I wanted to be liked, but I didn't realize that I was not only hurting myself, but the other team members as well. So since the module, I've had the opportunity to put what I've learned into action. It's such a relief to just do the thing instead of letting it fester. Hero's Journey not only made me a more confident person, but a more positive person as well. I can do this.
Definitely. And since the hero's journey last year, I can say Wendy's changed. She's always been a good person, kind, generous, but she is much more confident now. She's confident when she speaks to our team members. She's confident when she speaks to clients, and she doesn't second guess herself or doubt herself as much. I'm really excited to see the continued changes in our office and look forward, to seeing things change for the positive here. I'm really excited that Wendy's taken the reins. She planted the seeds, and now we're going to have more team members join us this year.
Yeah, so Jane and I are a part of Mount Pleasant Abstract and Title family of agencies. We have 24 offices in the state of Michigan, and we knew that we wanted to share this journey with our leader because we knew the impact that it could have. So I'm happy to say we do have 12 people going through the journey with us. And not only that, but we are facilitating the accountability group. So really, Darren, we just want to say thank you for creating the hero's journey, and it is life-changing.
It is.
Well, for everything you said is the reason why it was created. So I appreciate you following through and being the phenomenal example. And I mean, if people listening to that, I mean, have you ever been in a leadership position that was well earned but not been properly trained? I mean, does that sound familiar to anybody? I mean, or wanting to be liked, avoiding tough conversations, and then just fixing things yourself. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Or how about never doubting or second guessing yourself anymore? Finally gaining and demonstrating the confidence that you deserve, right? So that's fantastic. And I appreciate both of you coming on. So let me give you some additional tips for those that are coming on our hero's journey to maximize your experience as you adventure through your hero's journey cycle. The first thing to know is that this is a serious program, okay? It's designed for serious leaders and achievers who are serious about their life and their impact. So you will need to take this program seriously. It is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the toe dippers. It is not for the half-hearted. It's not for the, well, I'll give it a try, mediocre many. I know that you started programs and failed to finish them. I don't care about that. Just make this time different. And it's simply a choice. And then it's a structure, a system that we will give you. And we have that system for you. If you just put in the work, this time we can help you make it work. Okay? You only need to make this a priority. Schedule and block out the time for this and then stick to it. Treat it as a sacred routine, one that you do on a week over week basis. And I promise it will pay off for you. What you learn inside here is what will save you time, gain you leverage, give you back control over your life, make you more effective, expand your influence, save you, and make you money. It's the best investment of time, energy, and attention that you can make, but you have to give it the investment of time, energy, and attention to get it going for you. As Jim Rohn would say, if you want it badly enough, you will find a way. If you don't, you will find an excuse. And any excuse will do. So all you have to do is prioritize this. And this will solve 1,000 other problems that you have. I know founding member Mary Fisher has more on this very topic. Mary is in Virginia and is the executive VP at 5 Rings Financial. Mary, what is your best tip for our new heroes starting their adventure today?
Thank you, Darren. So if you're serious about your mission, Hero's Journey, I think is a fantastic, maybe the only place you could possibly choose to be. For me, like most of you, setting aside time could be a challenge. So absolutely, to reiterate what Darren said, set the time aside, and don't just set it aside, but set aside contingency time too, because we know life delivers interruptions and emergencies, and it's very easy to get off track and in a busy life, not find a time to stick it back in the schedule. So for me, I have my set aside time. It's early morning, non-business productive time when my clients would kill me if I called them. That's when I'm going to be on my hero's journey. And then I'm going to rinse and repeat at another one of those times. Then when I'm with my huddle, it's going to be a common time when we can be together. So you've got to really set that time and space aside. And remember, you're doing it for your mission. You know, if it's just a class, if it's just a web thing, if it's just there's no there's your mission. And if you're a hero, you're here. So congratulations. Also, show up, but don't beat up. Sometimes you're going to have to miss that. And what's that, somebody done somebody wrong song. We can play some mental gymnastics about beating ourselves up about things. If you miss it, fix it. If you miss it, make it work. And you can do that for your fellow heroes too, because some people don't have that muscle developed. So please don't be casual. Set aside time. You're going to get great coaching about that during the process, always led beautifully by one of the 18 members to get squared away. So get there early, have your settings set up. It might be outside, it might be inside, you might change it up, but enjoy the journey. And one of the things that I did is I printed off the PDF to write my sloppy notes. And then when I wanted to transfer them into my beautiful, beautiful book here, I didn't want to do that in a sloppy way. So I transposed those. And that was a great time when I was rinsing and repeating. So Darren, just thank you so much for sharing all of these years of cultivating the best of what leadership is into this. And I do believe this is the COVID pandemic survival guide for leaders. So I'm so proud of all of our partners who stepped in. We have so many people doing the journey alongside us, and excited for each and every one of you. Thanks, Darren.
That's great. Thank you, Mary. Some really, really great tips there. Also, I know superhero Mark Burdinsky in Washington, D.C. or the Baltimore area has some great tips to share as well. Mark, please lead the way.
Yes, happy hearty New Year, Darren. Great to see you again. So
you too.
Thank you. My tip is you got to create a sense of urgency. So too many people, when the module ends, they close down the browser and they go on to whatever life has ready to deal with them, right? I mean, distractions, detours, it heaps upon you. You got to take time to move forward. So what I would do is take my Hero's Guidebook, take about 10 minutes, make some notes and takeaways, and then write them down and brainstorm. And then if there were other people I needed on this journey, and you will, with some of the quests, I write down some names and contact them actually then, or at least write them down and contact them by the end of the day. And I actually did this. Then the heroes will find out module 1, the first one next week, that you're going to need to interview some people. And after module 1, a great example of this that made a deep impact on my life is I wrote down a couple of names of people I would interview. And one of those was my dad. And I didn't know that, but 10 months later, he would suddenly pass away. And the interview I did with him made it so that I could tell stories about him during his eulogy. And much of the information I shared with the people that came to his funeral was from the interview I did in this hero's journey. So talk about making an impact, jumping on that sense of urgency. I really appreciate this journey. It was incredible. And I can tell you my H got bigger this year, not just my love for the hero's journey, but my heart as well. So thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mark. That's great. Beautifully said. And speaking of superheroes with big, giant hearts, I'd love to introduce you to one of our superstars, also a superhuman being and a great friend, Misty Lown, and have her share an important tip with our new heroes. Go ahead, Misty, please.
Hi, Darren, and hello to the heroes. This is actually my Darren Hardy 10-year anniversary in 2022. And
Wow.
I would say that Hero's Journey is the glue that holds all of the training together. And I'm actually jealous of the people who get to do this first. Maybe this is their first entree into Darren Hardy's ecosystem. So it's fantastic. The tip I have is to do both active and passive learning. So active is showing up here, taking your notes, being engaged, being all in, doing the things that you've already heard from the other superstars here. But the passive learning and what follows afterwards, it's when you're running and driving, and it's that no extra time where the lessons continue to seep in when your mind is actually maybe ready to receive it in a different way. And I want to share a special passive learning that I had with my own son. This summer, we had a Route 66 trip, Darren, Chicago to LA, just like the song, 2,000 miles, 9 days in the car, my son and I. And we listened to a lot of the hero's journey. At that point, it was module 3. So this is about empathy, conflict resolution. And my son said something funny to me. He's 12 years old. He said, okay, so it took Darren an hour to say that one thing, like just to tell you to, have these habits and do the right thing and listen to people and treat people right. I said, yeah, because it takes us a lifetime to learn it. We need those stories. And I just think as adults, we need this constant application because we have so much undoing. Like Wendy said, we maybe never learned these things. So to have that net time, that passive learning time, have your family be around that. I spent decades trying to shield my family from my work life. So work life didn't overflow, and I'm not going to hold those false barriers anymore. I'm letting them into my entire growth journey now, and it's yielded tremendous results.
That's awesome. Thank you, Misty. And for those that don't know, Misty, she eliminates everybody's excuses. She is in La Crosse, Wisconsin, which has a population of 51,000. And she has more than one thriving business, several flourishing nonprofit organizations that she has founded that are making a huge difference in the lives of hundreds of thousands. Her husband, Mitch, has been flying back and forth to Haiti to help rebuild the country. And she has 5 kids. And she's currently working on her PhD. And she is actively engaged in what it is that we do here. Always a superstar in our community. So if you ever think I don't have time, or I have too much on my plate, or now's not the right time, I just want you to think of Misty and then have your excuses be kiboshed. Okay. Something else that I want to reinforce here is that as you're going through this process, I just need you to trust the accumulative step-by-step process and to have patience. Okay. I need you to trust the process and have patience with the process. Write this down. The greatest impediment to real development is impatience, the desire to hurry up the process. The great danger is that we give into feelings of difficulty and impatience and fear and or confusion, that we stop observing and learning, that we stop following through on the work. And that is when the development process stops. The growth momentum comes to a screeching halt. But if you manage against these emotions and allow time to take its course, I'm telling you something remarkable will begin to take shape that you didn't even anticipate or expect. As we continue to observe and learn and listen and follow through and follow the lead of others, we start to gain insight and we start to discover, we start to see things and how they work and fit together. We begin to see the connections that were invisible to us before. As Misty talked about, rinsing and repeating on that net time, running, working out, or driving and going over it again, we slowly start to gain confidence in our ability to solve problems or overcome weaknesses through sheer persistence. And if we keep practicing, we begin to start to gain a sense of fluency. Basic skills get mastered, which allows us to take on newer and more exciting challenges. So the key here is, and you want to write these 3 things down, okay? Number 1, trust the process. Number 2, stay committed and consistent. Number 3, have patience. And what will happen is mastery will start to blossom in your life in many surprising and unexpected ways and result in outcomes you'll start to see around you. So I want to bring on another superstar here. This is Mr. John Glutch. He's the owner of the Glutch Group Real Estate Company in Phoenix, Arizona, and now San Diego. So John, please share some of your best tips with our new heroes that are about to begin their grand adventure.
Sure. Hey, thanks, Darren. Thanks for having me on. And I'm very excited to bring a bunch of my team members along with me this year. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll just read what I wrote. I had a couple specific things that I mentioned that were helpful and insightful to me. And then I got one bonus one that just happened in the last month or so since I emailed this over. But what I wrote was I learned and implemented the most from the modules I completed alongside the manual, as opposed to just listening in the car. I found that when I just listened in the car, I felt like I kind of already knew what was being shared. But when I sat down and watched and filled in the worksheets, that same material seemed much more profound. It felt like the way I consumed the material literally made it more valuable. And it really is true. I mean, I'd listen to the same thing just driving around and then sit down with my book and fill it in and be like, dang, that's like, I would have all these takeaways I just didn't get in the car. It was a big difference. The second is not all modules are equal. Some of them are far more applicable or were more applicable at that time in my journey. Give yourself permission for that to be okay. I spent lots of time on modules that had a lot of application as we went through them, even at the sacrifice of modules that followed them that were not as applicable. You know, there's going to be ones that just hit home and you're like, dang, that's like the perfect thing right now. I absolutely need this. And then some that you don't really get a lot of at the time, but it might come back around later. And one example of that is it's kind of the new thing that happened. One thing you said, you gave an example of a way that you had helped your friends' kids come around on a behavior, and it was a game that they had created. And I heard that 6 months ago and thought, oh, that's cool. But like a month ago, I was like, how can I get my kids to be more respectful? Like, I want them to say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, and be more. They're just being pretty disrespectful. And I thought of the game idea. And so I pulled out Candyland and started, and it was overnight. It was insane how much their motivation increased, how much they want to win the game, how much they want to win the prize. And they are like different human beings than they were 3 weeks ago. It's really, really crazy. But that's something I heard 6 months ago. I didn't pay much attention to. And it's truly, that's probably the most dramatic thing that's happened as a part of Hero's Journey. And it was a one-off that I didn't think about at the time, but applied a few weeks ago. And then the last one is for most modules, there was a 20% window that really helped me. Like 20% of the module was of the recording really helped me. And I knew I'd need to rinse and repeat that because it was like, dang, that's new. Like, I'm not good at that yet. Like empathy had a section like that was totally new to me and I knew I wasn't good at. So rather than rinse and repeat the whole thing, I notated the timestamp for a section that was a real mindset shift for me, and then listened to just that section over and over again. So rather than try to rinse and repeat, a 2-hour module, I could rinse and repeat 20 minutes that was like really new, and I knew I needed to impress upon my mind help change my activity and my behavior. So those are three, 4 tips there that really helped change the experience for me, and I hope it helps some other people too. Glad to go through it again.
That's great. Thank you, John. And let me summarize this for everybody. So the first one, what was the first thing he said? He left.
The first one was I learned and implemented the most from the modules. Why I did it with the manual.
Oh yeah. Okay, I want to offer a suggestion here. So the thing that I love that John said is let the first time that you're experiencing it be focused learning, right? So that you are with your desktop computer and your Hero's Journey guidebook the first time through, so that you can really concentrate and focus on something. You're gonna be just barraged with brand new input, and so the more isolated focus that you can be ready for high performance learning and input, the better. Now, then after that, once you've had that first absorption, then you can rinse and repeat it in car, walk, then you can be more mobile, just rinsing and repeating, reinforcing, and you'll hear things that you didn't hear the first time. The second thing is that I'm going to give you 30 years of distilled information. So not all of it needs to be for you now. In fact, every year that you come through, I promise you'll get something completely different, because you'll be a different person and you'll hear and see and retain different things. And so just get what you need to get for you was the second tip. And then the third thing is that pick the spots that you want to go and rinse and repeat in chunks. Don't feel like you got to do the whole thing all the time. Find your spots and rinse and repeat those. So I think those are fantastic. And so again, we're getting close to the end here. So for those that haven't joined us, go get that done now, and then come back, and I want to help those that are facilitators that are going to be guiding other after action huddle groups. These are fantastic people who are going to be these guides for groups as we go through the Hero's Journey. These are the people who have stepped up to be facilitators. They're the ones who carry the golden tablet. I forgot to put one here on my desk here so that I could show you, but this is the coveted Facilitator's Guidebook. And so I want to just bring on a couple of veterans here to give those who are going to be facilitators and those that are going to be led by a facilitator a couple of tips, right, in leading a fun and dynamic and fast-paced and immensely valuable after-action huddle. And so first we have Dion Tuplin, which I always called it Tuplin, but Allie at the beginning here said Tuplin. So now I am properly corrected. And she's from Prince Edward Island in Canada. Dion, please share your experience having just completed your first cycle as a facilitator yourself.
Wow. Well, thank you, Darren. I'm really excited to be here. So, gosh, when I first signed on as a facilitator, I immediately had buyer's remorse and I almost requested a refund. I didn't think I had what it took to lead others, and I thought I'd better serve as a facilitator, as a participant, sorry. After attending my initial facilitator training and learning what our roles and responsibilities were going to be, I left feeling more confident and capable to lead a group. So from a facilitator perspective, you definitely want, if you want a successful year and a team, it's important to have your expectations, system, and structure in place. And in our HJ123 mastermind group, the benchmark for our success was the implementation of our commitment pledge. And I have it behind me right here. In order to be part of our group, you had to adhere to the standards outlined in our pledge. And once you signed your name to it, you were on the hook to play full out, bring your A game, and continue to the end of the hero's journey. Our schedule correlated with the modules, and in our Facebook group, there were accountability check-ins for watching the modules, completing the after action guides and quests, meeting with your accountability partners, and committing to attending one of our after action huddles, which for us took place on Fridays or Saturdays. Everyone was aware of the schedule and they made the commitment to follow it. One of my favorite moments as a facilitator was selecting the huddle hero. And this became a rite of passage for us in our group. And to showcase the person or persons who stood out during our huddles by recognizing those members who brought their best to the table was such a joy. And each of the facilitators in our group, we would post a video highlighting their huddle hero and just those key moments that where that person shined during the huddle, and it made such an impact in our group. So for those of you who are being facilitators, you know, this is a great moment for you, and just embrace it because it's so amazing. So thanks for having me on, Darren. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dion. And some great tips. I hope everybody got some of those down. But also remember that there are several training and mentoring sessions that are dedicated to just those who stepped up to be a facilitator or who want to step up to be a facilitator. And they're all in your Darren Hardy training vault. So if you upgrade it to facilitator, you'll get all those trainings. Okay. And they're fantastic. So be sure that you check those out so that you can be an awesome facilitator for your groups. And I just want to introduce you to one last hero who was a facilitator in her group through the Hero's Journey last year as well. Nisha Hernandez is the founder of Nisha's Dance and Music Academy here in San Diego, or Chula Vista to be more specific. And so Nisha, what is your best tip for these fine facilitators for our 2022 class?
Hi, Darren. Thanks for having me on. My best tip is just to remind everybody, it's something you already know, but the more accountable you are to yourself, the greater the impact that you are going to have, and that the hero's journey can have on your own life and your business. And my story is that last year, in the journey, in the after action huddle group that I was in, the facilitator's job was a shared role. So I was only doing the facilitator job now and again. We took turns. And in the weeks where I led the modules, I found that I was the most prepared. I studied, I was re-listening, I was fully grasping the material, and I was all in doing the work. And then our group split, and I found myself as the sole facilitator for the new group. And so that meant that every week I was all in. And that's when the momentum really kicked in for me. And then, of course, for my business. So accountability to yourself.
Yeah, accountability. Going deep, playing full out. Great way to end our session here. Thank you for bringing that to the table. So in wrapping up, I would give you this last suggestion. Enjoy the journey, okay? Change, growth, transformation, and the metamorphosis process can be arduous, or it can be immensely joyful. It's all in how you approach it. You see, real joy comes from overcoming challenges, feeling the confidence in your abilities growing, gaining fluency in your critical skills, and experiencing the power that all of this brings. See the fruits of your discipline and of your skill building as the riches and the most satisfying pleasures of all, okay? Whenever I'm asked what drives me and what guides me in my own life and anything that I choose to do, I say it's the joy of getting to the inside, the mastery of the game within the game. You see, when you get to the inside of things, you start to see the heart beating. You feel it. You understand it at a different level. You can now see what others don't see. Everything becomes 4D and in HD. When you start to learn something new, you're first on the outside and you only see the exterior. You see the visual or the surface of things. You're learning the rules and trying to understand the basics. And it's a very slow and tedious process. You don't really have a full grasp of everything. And everything is kind of confusing. It's a blur. Eventually, though, if you stick with it, if you rinse and repeat, you finally make your way to the inside of it. You start to feel the thing come alive. If it's a chess, let's say, the board is no longer a physical object. It becomes 4D. If it's music, you no longer need to think about the keys or the pedals. It's all internalized now, and music simply flows from you. That's when you start to gain mastery. Or sports are a great example. Veteran quarterbacks talk about how with each year of experience, it's as if the game slows down. So what's happening here is they're moving closer and closer to the inside. We say of icons in basketball or soccer or hockey, it's as if they have eyes in the back of their head. No. They're just on the inside of the game itself. You could say the same thing of scientists or writers or actresses, and yes, leaders and pastors and coaches and parents. The masters know the thing from the inside out, not only the outside in. And this is also why you see many of our alumni, more than 60+% of our alumni going back through the hero's journey cycle again. I bet the numbers, I probably bastardized that number. Heck, I'll tell you, this is why I'm going back through the hero's journey cycle. I designed the program, but why am I going back through it? Because A, I want to continue to go deeper and deeper to the inside. And this is only possible through tens of thousands of practice reps and years of practice on the core principles and attributes that are proven to work. And B, I know that it's all in here. 25 years, I've seen the entire landscape of what leadership development, leadership training, leadership education is. This right here is the most comprehensive and complete leadership and human growth system ever designed, ever made available, built in and for our unique modern times. I know that it's all been distilled into here. And I know that this is all I need to continue to master. So to those of you who are watching us and are not with us yet, I say, join us now before you no longer can. I think what you have heard today makes all of this pretty self-evident. If by what you've heard today, you don't get it by now, then it really probably isn't for you. And that's okay. It's a choice you have to make. Remember, you also have my personal guarantee. You have absolutely zero to risk, but a much more prosperous future to gain. I'm doing everything I can to make it easy for you to answer the call to your adventure so that you venture out on your hero's journey and become the person you were designed to be. But it's up to you. So do it now. We're about to wrap up here. Now, to the new heroes that are joining me for the very first time, I say welcome. You are in for an extraordinary adventure. If you will commit and if you will stay consistent with it. Just know it will be challenging. You will be faced with drift, with potentially falling off, with the chaos of life and the demands that pull on you. You will be challenged. You just have to commit and stay consistent. If you do, it will produce an abundant harvest in your life, year after year for the rest of your life. Remember, the definition of commitment is this, okay? You might want to write this down. Here's the definition of commitment. Doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the mood that you set it in has left you. You see, this is the problem people have with resolutions and with goals that they set at the beginning of the year. So let me say it again if you didn't get the full sentence down. Commitment is doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the mood. See, the mood's different at the beginning of the year. The mood's different when you set your goals for the first time, when you decide to go on that diet, when you sign up to the gym for the first time, when you start a new training program. Long after the mood that you set it in has left you. So stay committed, and I promise you victory is nearly assured. And then to our facilitators, lots of lives are counting on you. Know that leadership is a privilege. It's a great honor, and it is a terrific responsibility. So lead with conviction, lead with strength, and lead with joy. Your golden guidebook will hold your hand every step of the way. And then I want to thank all the founding heroes, all the superheroes, and all the facilitators who came here live to share their veteran experience with all of you and help you kick off this new adventure. And then finally, I want to thank all of you, everybody who has joined us here today. This is going to be an incredible year, an epic learning adventure that we're doing together. And I'm excited to be with you on this adventure. Okay, I will turn it back to Allie, and she has some important announcements and our final wrap up. So back to you, Allie.
Well, thank you so much. And wow, can I just say what an incredible time that we just had together. And I think I have everything set on my end so that you don't freeze on me again. So thank you for being so sweet to me in the beginning when I thought that I lost you. But as we always say, you just never know what's going to happen when we're live. And as we all know all too well, you just never know what Darren's going to say when we're live either. But we are all here, and that was so incredible to hear from so many of our beloved founding members. So thank you again to each and every one of you that joined us today. So I hope that you are feeling like me, you're feeling inspired, and you're also committed to taking action towards your goals. So I am so looking forward to continuing our journey together as we go through Hero's Journey. And I'm so excited to learn how your life and those around you are going to be profoundly impacted as we adventure all together on this year-long journey. So the A-Team and the entire Hero community will be with you every step of the way. I see you over here in the chat. It is going off the rails. I see you saying, I can't wait to get started. And this was so incredible. So let us know if you are all in for a heroic 2022 together with us in Hero's Journey. Write hashtag all in the chat so that we can see you and so that we can celebrate you. And make sure that you're all in is all caps, because we need to like really know that you're all in. And all caps lets us know you're yelling at us. We want you to yell at us that you're all in. Now, we have some really, really special things that are going to be happening this year. We really think that you're going to love them. They're brand new. So throughout the year, we are going to be having some virtual hero meetups to give you an opportunity to meet and to connect with other heroes that are on this journey together with you. So that's something that the A team is really looking forward to. We're so excited about this. So more details will be coming on that very soon. So be on the lookout. Next, we have something very special happening next week. So this is to give you an opportunity to connect with other heroes right away in our virtual hero welcome meetup. So more details are going to be coming on that soon as well. But for those of you who are registered members of Heroes Journey, we'll send you a link to be able to register for that. So what's going to happen is you're going to log in, and an A team member or a superhero is going to be there to greet you. And you'll be magically zoomed away into these breakout rooms of 8 to 10 other heroes, where you all can meet and connect with each other and have productive conversations. And we're going to be leading the way with productive questions. So don't you worry. It's going to be incredible. So this is going to be a great time for you to meet someone that you may want to have as an accountability partner, or to find for your after action huddle group to join as well, and to be able to expand your associations with incredible, incredible people. So they're going to be so fun. We really think that you're going to love it. Well, that is the last of my formal announcements. I'm checking over here, and you are just all in over in the chat. And we are all caps, and I saw a lot of exclamation points on that one as well. So we hear you. You are yelling it, screaming it from the mountaintops. We're all in, and we are so excited. So as one final reminder, Module 1 will officially release in your Darren Hardy Training Vault this Sunday at 6 a.m. Pacific time. So again, that's this Sunday. So new modules or the special bonus session will release every Sunday. So that's going to be our regular rhythm. So you will get a module on Sunday, and then your bonus mentor session on that module will come on the following Sunday. And then a new module will be released on the next Sunday, and so on. So we also have strategic breaks around holidays worked in there as well for you. So for those of you who are not yet formal members and you are ready to officially join us for this heroic year and get this Hardy Party started, just go to heroesjourney.com/scholarship. Now that's the link that you're going to want to use. Enrollment closes down this week, so make sure that you get in and you officially join us. So this is going to be an incredible year together. You are not going to want to miss this. So congratulations on answering your call and becoming a hero. We are so very grateful to have you with us in this incredible community. So on behalf of Darren and the entire A team, thank you for joining us. We cannot wait to experience the Heroes Journey class of 2022 with you. Have a great day.